Welcome. I was gonna try to make a video every week. That didn't really work because of my actual job and school. So, I wanted to do a video on my console collection. So this is kind of an overview of everything, all the goodies. Uh, Start on my desk, just to mention the computer. I don't use it for gaming, but I guess it counts. These don't have anything to do with gaming. They're just sliders. This drawer for a desk I'm making in welding. You see these little tacks that I use to kind of size everything up. I'm sending that off today or tomorrow to get powder coated. Not these, obviously, but the frame. So without further ado, we got the Xbox 360. I have quite a few Xbox 360 games. I just don't really have any attachment to them because I got them in a lot. The only one that I really feel an attachment to is like Minecraft, but I talked about that already. So, my Xbox 360 is my first console that was mine. I believe my dad bought it for me when I was 8. It's seen some stuff, but I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. All things considered. I'm moving on to the PlayStation 3. Got this very recently. Got it a couple months ago. Just to play Katamari Forever. That's the only reason I bought it. I don't know. I got it in the box. I got it with a couple games. I kind of hate it though. I don't know if all PlayStation 3s are this slow. This thing takes like 20 minutes to boot up. I think I read somewhere that like it could be some kind of hard drive problem. I don't know. I don't care. It's able to play the game I want to play. That's all that matters. So I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this thing. I hate it, but the one game I have for it I really like. So I got the Magnavox Odyssey 2. I got this from my uncle. It had the box and everything. I don't have the box in this video. It's out in my garage. But this is just really cool to have. I love the really old games. You can see they're trying to kind of do the home computer thing, but it was also, a console. I don't know. I just find the design charming and hilarious, actually. Keyboard, controllers, funny. And also, all these consoles, by the way, usually aren't here. They're usually tucked away in the closet. Besides these three. These three are in a drawer, actually. This stuff is usually in a closet, though. I just have it up here, for the sake of the video. I got my Super Nintendo Mini, or Super Nintendo Model 2 is what it's called. Sorry. I have this because, we'll get to you in a minute, but my Super Nintendo stopped working for a while, so I just bought this one so I could still play my Super Nintendo games. It works now, but I'll explain its story later. But all you need to know for now is I had this just to play Super Nintendo games. I don't use it anymore, though, because I don't really have a reason to. We got my new Nintendo 3DS with that abomination. My original new Nintendo 3DS broke, so I got this one, and it was in perfect condition. Got it from my local store. They don't really sell anything unless it's in like new condition or lightly used by my standards. And none of you know me, but trust me, that's pretty high standards. And this was really nice. And then one day I see this bubbling up. I'm like, fuck. I try not to look at it for that reason. We got one of my Game Boy Advances. I wanted this one because I had oh crap, I hope my face isn't in the reflections of these consoles. If it is, I'll have to blur it out or something. But let's just not pick them up then. Anyways, this is my Game Boy Advance. I wanted this one because store around me who does really good work. Really, I'd really like to mention their name because they're a really great store, but again, location. They do really good work. They repair, they modify, and they put a backlit screen in this Game Boy Advance and this cool looking shell. I think it ran me about $100, and then it was $50 to put the backlit screen in. So in total, it cost me $150 and no tax, which was really nice. And if you look for a Game Boy Advance with a backlit screen on eBay, it might cost you about $200, and you're going to be waiting for it to come in the mail. So yeah, that was a deal and a half. That was also like a year ago. Their prices might be a little more inflated now. Things have been going up. I doubt it though. So that was good. And this is my Game Boy. I wanted an original Game Boy, but I wanted one with a backlit screen. So I installed this myself actually. Uh, the only thing I had to do. Oh, I forgot I have a game in it. Well, perfect. Uh, the only thing you have to do to get the backlit screen to work is just solder the speaker wire to it. I think the mod cost me like $50. Wasn't bad. The Game Boy itself, though, the story behind it is great. So I was looking on the old Facebook Marketplace, and I saw this Game Boy for $25, and it said possibly broken. I'm like, what do you mean possibly broken? And in the description it said, oh, the screen's weird. I'm like, weird. I look through the Facebook profile, and it's like an older person, and I'm like, wait a minute. I bet this was a closet find. There's nothing wrong with this. The screen just is weird. It's not backlit, right? So I contact the lady. She's like an hour away. I didn't care though. I drove all the way there, looked at the Game Boy, and of course my theory was like the screen was fine, man. I'm like, oh shit. But I feel like a horrible person for this. But I lied to her anyways. I said, well, I don't know if I can fix that screen. Can I give you $20? And she's like, sure. So I got this Game Boy for $20. But I paid $50 for the backlit screen. So technically I paid $70, but I don't think that's bad. Especially since it's in pretty nice condition. So yeah, oh, and it came with Bubble Bobble too. And it works. The Bubble Bobble too. I mean, of course the Game Boy works, which is just hilarious. And that was a fun little road trip too. My little brother and I went to go get it. Yeah, that was cool. That was this summer actually. I feel kind of bad, but not really. She said, "Oh yeah, it was my daughter's." I was like, "Okay, cool, yeah." So that was a deal and a half. Now moving on, we got my PlayStation 5. I got this for the purpose of playing PlayStation 4 games because I kind of wanted to play PlayStation 4 games, but by the time I could actually afford a PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5 was out. So I'm like, screw it, let's just get the PlayStation 5 to play PlayStation 4 games. I haven't really been playing a lot of PlayStation games lately. I've pretty much beat everything I wanted to play. Excuse my hand, it's really messed up. Uh, from working out in the shop with no gloves, and it's chapped from being cold outside. But anyways, I've mainly been playing Minecraft on this lately. To tell you the truth, I've pretty much just been playing Minecraft on this lately. Moving on from there, we got my Nintendo Switch with the S&M American Bicycle Company sticker. Best BMX company in the business. This is my I'd say this is probably my second favorite console of all time. My first is the Wii. Can't top that because of nostalgia, but my second favorite console of all time is the Nintendo Switch. It's Nintendo Switch. What can I really say about that hasn't already been said? Well, I will say this: a lot of the things that people complain about are fucking stupid. Like these Joy-Cons. Yeah, I'll give this to you. These Joy-Cons are tiny. Okay, that's fine. That's true. But just buy a Pro controller if you want a bigger controller. And I can't even think of the other complaints that people have. Some of them are valid. Some of them are stupid. But I think that Nintendo Switch is a perfectly fine console, especially since it's only $300. I would like to see Nintendo, improve upon the Switch in the future, though. Like not a Switch 2, but just their newest console, whatever that's going to be. But these Joy-Cons actually are ones I swapped the shell on. They say not to do that, but I did that like probably 2 years ago, and I've never had a problem with these Joy-Cons. I don't know if it's just because of my skill, but I think if you just take your time, these really aren't that hard to disassemble. I usually don't swap shells for controllers. I mean, even that Game Boy, the only reason it's shell swapped is because you have to have the different shell size from the screen anyways, so. But I swapped the shell for this D-pad. So I just wanted a D-pad to be extra. Did I need one? No. But I just wanted one. We'll move on to my prized possession. One of my prized possessions in the collection. I have two of them. Not two. Well, I mean, I have multiple Wii's too, but two of them are at my mother's house though. But my prized pieces that I take a lot of pride in. First one is this red Wii. Bought it brand new, $80 in the box. The box is a little damaged, but it was sealed. And It's my main Wii because it's red, and red is my favorite color. Uh, there's nothing really else to say about it. It's the Wii. And of course, to show you the box. As you can see, like I said, it's rough, man. It's not in great condition. But, like I said, it was new, has, controllers, games, everything. Because it's for the 25th anniversary of Super Mario Bros. Kind of a lame thing for this 25th anniversary. It was this, and you saw the other thing I have is whatchamacallit? Oh, Super Mario All Stars on a Wii disc. Yeah, I like this Wii though, just because it's red. I just had to have it, especially seeing as it's $80 at my local game store. I'm like, man, I just have to have it, even though the box is not good at all. Whatever. So I usually have the box in the closet anyway, so whatever. Next we got my indigo, blue, purple, whatever the hell color GameCube. This took me a while to find, actually. Not only because it's blue, but because it has, as Scott Loaz would call it, the big penis port, or is it fancy penis port? Whatever the hell he calls it. It has that. So if I want to get the HDMI adapter in the future, I can. Though I run my Wii through HDMI, and GameCube games look beautiful on it. So, but I just wanted an indigo GameCube. So I have one. Moving on. From that, we have the NES. This is something I got from my uncle. I wanted an NES forever, and the way I got this was strange. I asked my uncle about the Sega Master System, and he gives me this box with a whole bunch of old gaming stuff, and one of the things was this NES, and it came with Bad Dudes, which I've talked about in my game collection video. I love that game. I think, yep, right now I have Star Tropics in there. One thing I'll say about my NES, though, it took forever to get it working right. Sorry about that abrupt pause. I got it interrupted. One thing about my NES is that it took forever to get working right because the pins were dirty at first, so I cleaned them off. And then I had to re-bend them. Like, it's hard to explain. If you have an NES, you already know. Take a little screwdriver and, bend each individual one out. And that's not that simple, though. You got to get them all around the same level, or some games won't work right. It was a pain in the ass, but I got it to work. Before that, though, what I would do is I would just put alcohol in the games every single time I'd use it. Use it. And it usually work because the alcohol would act as sort of a conduit, or that's not the right word. You might know what I'm trying to say. It would, transfer the electricity. Even though some of the pins weren't making connection. That caused oxidation, though, so I'd have to keep cleaning everything. It was just a big mess. Just a big mess. Now you, motherfucker. So, this Super Nintendo was my dad's, and he passed it down to me. And it was yellow as hell. I took it apart one day. I mean, this was years ago, to paint it gray. And I'd say I color matched it pretty well. I mean, you can tell, so I didn't paint this stuff because it hasn't, it's embossed. I mean, it's pretty close. It's close enough. So I kind of wanted to restore it. I mean, you see, it's not in the best condition, anyways. I mean, you see this little imperfection here, and there's other little imperfection in the back as well. But when I took it apart, you know what? Dumbass middle school me did. I used a magnet to get some of the screws in the back out that were kind of stubborn. And what happened is the magnet got too close to, I'm trying to think of the name, the power jack. I think that's the right term for it. And or something back there. Basically, and it shorted out, okay? It shorted it out. Computers, technology, magnets, do not mix. Shorted it out. That's why I bought the Super Nintendo Model 2. Well, I kind of figured out how to fix this one. I actually have a parts Super Nintendo that I took the parts from to fix this one. Yeah. It was an experience, but hey, I mean, the way I see it, I had to fuck it up. I had to fuck something up to learn something, I guess, is the story behind that. I mean, I didn't have any money into this besides the paint, so it wasn't a big deal. Hell, we gotta crack a couple eggs to make an omelet kind of thing. At the time, I was pissed, though. We have my Nintendo 64 over here, got Banjo-Kazooie in it right now. And I don't really have much to say about the Nintendo 64. I really like the Nintendo 64, because I like old stuff, and it's weird to say the Nintendo 64 is old, but it is. And I just like how it's fucking stupid. And okay, now this video has 2 weird cuts. It might even have 3. I just like how garbage a lot of games are, how they haven't aged well and everything. So I don't know. This is my second little prized piece of the collection right here, my Famicom Disk System. I'm really happy that I own this. Well, it's a twin Famicom, I should say. But I'm just proud to own this because I like weird, like obscure stuff, and the disc system is pretty obscure. And I got the F1 Grand Prix, or that's not the name of it, but the Famicom Grand Prix, whatever the hell, F1 Race. Yeah, there we go. Famicom Grand Prix F1 Race. There you go. That's the name. And I just love this thing. I'd love to have more games for it. They're hard to come across. It's rare I come across them. Like that was one of 2 I've ever seen in person. And I don't like buying stuff off of eBay because eBay sellers are horrible, disgusting people. And they're just horrible people. That's bottom line. And I just don't like buying stuff off eBay. I like to get my games the same day and play them. So I really like my Famicom. I like playing disc system games. I want to get an adapter to use NES cartridges through the Famicom. I'd keep my NES up, and really, since I fixed it, honestly, there's no need to. But I just know that these pins will work infinitely better than the ones that are on my NES. So I might do that one day. So I see on eBay they're like $15 or something like that. Anyways, I love my disc system though, because it's just such a weird, obscure thing. The games like pretty much never come to the West. I know the Mysterious Mirror Sonic Castle was on a Virtual Console. I have it on my 3DS, but I don't really know of much else. I mean, of course, the Lost Levels, but Super Mario Bros. 2, whatever. But yeah, I just really am proud to own this. And then we moved to not really consoles, but just like extras. Got one of my Nintendo Switch controllers. Got 2 PlayStation 5 controllers. This one's broke. Has real bad drift in the thumbstick. This one's fine. It's just player 2 controller. There's nothing wrong with it to denote it as the player 2 controller. That's just what I use it for. It's a friend of mine's controller. I think it's the right thumbstick has drift like that one, and it's like it's way worse. That you can kind of tolerate for most games except for Minecraft. This one you can't do it. Oh no, it's a left thumbstick. Sorry, it's the left thumbstick that has drift. And I was gonna replace the thumbstick for him, so he didn't have to get a new controller. But then I saw how small the solders are. I'm like, my equipment isn't sophisticated enough for that. Like all my soldering equipment is from my dad, and it's just like primitive. So I couldn't do anything with it. I still have it, just in case like one day I go on a whim and buy some more sophisticated soldering equipment. Probably not gonna do that though. So I don't know. I just have it in case my friend wants it back or whatever. And I got some extra DS games, got some memory cards. Those are PlayStation 2. That's for GameCube. The pre-order bonus from Kirby and the Forgotten Land. The pre-order bonus from Age of Calamity. The expansion pack for the N64, because you gotta have this, for Donkey Kong 64. One of my other Game Boy Advances, my third one is blue. I gave it to my little brother. Nothing special about it. It's just a Game Boy Advance that I bought it like this, with this cool Majora's Mask shell. And they swapped onto it. I don't know. I kind of regretted the purchase. It wasn't. I don't know. I have a whole bunch of manuals over here from actually these are all Game Genie manuals for the Super Nintendo, and these are manuals for a lot of Super Nintendo games and N64 games. So there's Super Mario 64, the Super Nintendo's manual itself, and the Super Scope manual, Dracula manual, Dragon's Lair, Lethal Enforcers, Magic Sword, Shadowrun. Very proud to own this. Steel Talons, Super Metro. I don't own Super Metroid, but I have the manual. My dad, he just gave me the box with all the Super Nintendo stuff. This was there. I wish Super Metroid was there too, because I'd really like to own that and play it. I mean, I could afford it. I just every time I see it, I'm like, I could buy that, or I could buy something else. It's one of those games that I'll get when I get it. And Chuck Rock for the Genesis, I believe. No, the Sega CD. Sorry. Uh, this one's completely random. I don't think my dad ever had a Sega CD, so don't know how that got there. This is my little AV box I use for my consoles. These labels don't necessarily denote what's what. This one's blank, and I see I have a little piece of tape where the input is because it's fucked. I tried to clean it off like a million times, and it just wouldn't work. So the N64 is actually hooked up to the Super Nintendo because they use the same thing right now. Famicom is actually the Famicom, and then NES. I constantly have to switch them though because I have a couple of AV consoles. And the controller bin. I don't want to go through all this. Like, I'll show you. I have a Game Genie, but I have the manual, so no shit. I have a Game Genie. N64 controller. This a whole bunch of controllers basically. A lot of them like player 2, 3, 4, whatever the hell controllers. Some of them are just like like this. This is my main controller I use for my NES. I just have it in there right now because so I'm not playing the NES right now, so it's in there. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it actually. So let's try not to. Yeah, so that's my console collection. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I have a couple ideas of videos I want to do next. I want to do one on John Coltrane. There's a couple books I want to talk about. I don't know. People really click on videos like that. I'm probably gonna do them anyways. Because I have I actually have a whole script. I don't write, I haven't written a script for a video yet, but I do have a loose script for my John Coltrane video. So that will probably be coming out eventually. After this one. Bye.